Okay, so Sophia, I'll start with you since you're right here. So just the first question, obviously, as we talked about last year after the shooting, you guys went back to school but didn't really go back to school. Your thoughts going into this school year. This will be the first time you're actually going to go back, take classes, and try to kind of return back to normal. What's your thoughts going into this year?
I'm really excited to see all my teachers again because even if I went back to school over the summer, I wasn't able to see any of my teachers, especially like the ones that live further away. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them, the ones that I'm worried about, I want to see them and make sure they're okay and just go back to normal again.
Mm-hmm. Grace, same question for you. Last year you had some time in the school, but I imagine it didn't feel the same. You're actually going back to school tomorrow. What's your thoughts as you're heading into the school year?
Honestly, I'm not really that worried about it. I'm pretty excited just to go back and graduate. That's kind of my goal right now. And just, chug it out, get my last year out of the way. And it's going to be fun too, because the school's always been fun. So,
So you're looking for a good, regular senior year, right?
last year, yeah. I mean, all my friends told me the senior year is the best, so let's go.
And Caitlin, do you want to switch over to the other camera or no? Okay. So Caitlin, same question for you. This is the first time that you're going back to actually really going to school. You're going into it tomorrow, or are you nervous? You excited? What's your feeling?
Yeah, I'm very excited to go back to school. I think we were all talking about earlier how we're not victims, we're normal high schoolers, and we're very eager to continue our lives. I've gone to STEM for 7 years, and it's so ingrained in me that it's exciting to go back, like it is every year, because it's my family. So I'm really excited to just pick it up and continue my extracurriculars and my classes, see my teachers. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I'll just throw this out there, and any of you guys can answer, and just feel free to have a discussion. You guys mentioned it's important to try to get back to normal. Tell me about that. Why is it important to try to get back to normal?
Because this event was so abnormal for us, because it's just no one expects it to happen at their own school. So we just want to get back to a sense of normalcy so we can just continue our lives as high schoolers and not be seen as that school. We want to be seen as just another school.
Mm-hmm. Have you felt like it's been abnormal since then?
Not really. For me personally, I got back to normalcy pretty fast, just because hanging out with friends. At first it seemed a little odd, but after that it just was like hanging out and doing what you do over the summer, and summer was fairly normal. And every time I mentioned which school I go to, I'd get like, oh, okay, people just kind of nod their head at it. It wasn't like everyone freaked out when I told them. So.
Yeah, I've had a few times where I was wearing my STEM hoodie and someone commented on it, but for the most part it's been pretty normal. Mm-hmm. We didn't get a lot of recognition as a school before, and now everybody knows who we are. It's just different.
Or we were hated.
Or we were hated because we were the best. That was middle school.
That was middle school. Our middle school is great.
We have a rivalry in a robotics competition.
That's good,
with Goddard.
That's good, yeah. Do you guys felt like, in a way, like your school career at least has been paused, and it's like you haven't been able to resume until maybe tomorrow?
I don't think so.
I don't feel that way, really. What I felt kind of was, it was like a couple weeks ago, I realized I guess I have to go back to school. But that was more like my primary friend group kind of became the class of 2019. So when they were all leaving and I was hanging out with them every day, I kind of adopted that, I don't have to go back anyways. But then I remembered, hey, you still have to graduate. And so that's kind of what it was for me. It was just all my friends have already left. So then I was going back.
And I guess you could say that it was weird because we didn't have finals or anything, but and not being in school for a couple weeks was really odd. But I think they did a really good job of reintegrating us back for when we went back to school for a couple hours to just finish up the school year and not make it as difficult. Mm-hmm. So,
does it feel different? Is the end of this summer different than the end of other summers?
It's still the same feeling of anxiety and stress over your schedule. That's about it. gave me 2 advisement periods on the same day.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, I think it's pretty normal. We're just trying to figure out what our new schedules are going to be. As there is every year, there's a little bit of a mess with schedules, so it's pretty normal in that department. It's fun though, because you're trying to see what classes you have with friends, and you don't know what lunch you have yet, so you're looking forward to that. But it feels normal.
And I like that it feels normal. It's like good that it's not just like we're all just being treated differently. It's really nice that it's just like another school year.
And that's what I was going to say. Isn't it nice that those are the things that you are worried about right now, as opposed to, I'm sure you had different concerns right after the shooting.
Yeah, I think even right after the shooting, our concerns were just normalcy, because when it doesn't feel like anything changed, it's easier to kind of brush it off like a memory. Which is what it is at this point. It's not causing any further harm for us, so it's important to remember that it's okay to continue our lives. So having some normalcy, especially in school, helps with that.
Because that's where we are every day anyways, so we don't want to have to remember it every day, and we just want to move past it, move on.
School's our second home.
Yeah. And that's not to say that obviously you're forgetting what happened or forgetting
No,
what
of
Kendrick
course.
did or anything like that, right?
No. What Kendrick did was, we have to live for him. Every life experience that we have, I think it's always going to feel a little bit like it's something that he didn't get to do, so we have to make the best of it for him. Which again, normalcy helps do that. He wouldn't want the school to change. Everything that the school does, he loved.
Tell me about the process over the past few months. It sounded like you guys really came together and the community was really strong. Kind of describe that to me, and did that really help?
yeah, I think so. The first couple weeks, I actually didn't spend a single night alone. Well, I mean, I went to bed eventually, but I was out every night with someone doing something, and I think that really helped because it was really hard to be home because your parents don't really know what to do with you. So I mean, that was kind of what my summer was like, just out. And it wasn't like we were just sitting there like talking about it. No, we were like doing things, like going to Elitch's, like just being high school students and like hanging out together, like watching movies. It was stuff like that, just being a normal kid.
Because in the end of the day, we are normal kids. We want to remain that.
But did you guys support one another?
Yes,
Oh,
after
yeah, of course.
after everything that happened, our community all came together and supported each other, and instead of growing further apart as a community, we just got closer. And STEM was already fairly tight knit because we're a fairly small school, so we just got to all be together, which was really important because we had vigils and walks, and it made the healing process easier.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how important was that? And it's interesting what you said, that you guys got closer together instead of further apart. It could have gone the other way, right? It could have splintered the community. It was such a horrible thing. I mean, how important that you guys actually coalesced.
I think we've been fairly quiet as a community, especially reaching out to the media, up until, we're starting to reach out a little bit more now, but that initial process, we just wanted to be together. We didn't really invite media to the vigils. We tried really hard to make sure that everything stayed separate because we wanted our community's healing to be our community's process, not the world's.
And to be honest, we were kind of burned in the past too, which had to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, and our community did come together. Like, if I got a phone call, I was there. Like, that's why I'm here right now, is because I got a text. It's like, can you come? I was like, yeah. So it's kind of things like that. Like, there's kind of this mutual like agreement, like energy that if someone needs something, you're gonna go, you're gonna be there. If you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it, and that's kind of how it's been,
Mm-hmm. As the school year, begins tomorrow, do you feel like, as the days go on, that you will find that place where it's like, wow, we're really back to being ourselves, and we can enjoy, what it's like to be a senior, to be a junior, and like I said, not forget about what happened, but at least, go move past it, right? Is that kind of the right way to look at it?
Yeah, the school's making a lot of improvements right now. We're excited to see how those help make everything feel a little bit more normal. We just hired a new staff member to help with our student experience, and he's planning on giving everyone as normal of a senior year as possible. He actually just had a meeting so we could go in and talk about what we wanted, and it was really nice. It seems like this year is going to be as normal as possible, which is exciting.
Yeah, I just want to have fun things, go to events.
I'm excited for our senior sunrise, graduation.
Well, I mean, because these are things that you've been looking forward to for years, right?
Yeah. So, and that's what we want, we just want to go back and get to experience like Powder Puff, like all that stuff as a senior ditch day,
our senior homecoming and prom.
Yeah, and like, because we watched our friends all experience that, and now it's our turn, and that's kind of what we want,
And would you say that in a way, if you guys did change and you didn't do those things, then you're giving into what the shooters wanted, right? Like the disruption of the school and whatever their intentions were, like you're kind of giving into whatever that like evilness is, right?
Yeah, I feel like if we hold on to it too long and we let it change everything, then I think in a way we have let them win. So I think it's very important for us to try and like live our lives and not hold on to the pain anymore,
Yeah, they wanted the power to impact us. It's important that we don't give that to them.
And you're not a senior.
I'm not a
But
senior.
you're looking, I imagine you have stuff that you're looking forward to as well, and just kind of the traditional
Yeah, going
things.
to prom for the first time should be really fun. And just certain experiences like that. I haven't been to homecoming since freshman year, so that will be really fun. And I'm just excited for just normal school year experiences.
Now you guys are older, obviously so you guys can understand things a little bit better, more like adults. Are you guys concerned about the little kids that are going back to school?
Yeah, a little bit. I have a brother who's in elementary, and it's his first year in middle school this year. So we're interested to see how that transition is going to go, but for the most part, it seems like a lot of them it didn't impact them as much.
Yeah, it felt like they kind of, because they weren't really aware of the situation when it was happening or even afterwards, so like ignorance is bliss is kind of like what that was. So I think that like they didn't really understand the gravity of the situation at the time, which is no one's fault. They're kids, So I think that kind of in a way shielded them from like what happened. And, I think they're going to be, they're going to move on. And I'm pretty sure they all live like really normal lives now, and they're just hanging out and having a good time, being kids. And so, yeah.
And one day they probably will understand the gravity of it, and they'll understand what happened better. But right now, I think it's important that they're not constantly hounded by people talking about how difficult it was, especially if they didn't understand it. I think it's important for them to also just be normal.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned before we started rolling that you were concerned about security. Is there that, tell me your thoughts. Do you feel like there may be too much security after all this, or a little over response, or?
Yeah, I think at least personally I'm a little bit worried that the increased security is going to make it feel less like a school and more like something that they're trying to protect us from. School is a safe zone. Just because one bad thing happens doesn't mean that it's going to happen again necessarily. And treating it like it is going to happen again is a lot more fearful than just continuing.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about security?
Oh, is there supposed to be an increase in security? There was an email about that?
I don't know.
They don't send me emails. Anyway, honestly, like, as long as it isn't too intense, I'm totally fine. As long as it isn't something that's going to impact me daily, then I think I'm fine. We already had private security and all that good stuff. So now I don't know what they're going to do if they increase it, but as long as it doesn't impact me daily and slow me down, and especially it doesn't freak out my sister, because she's coming to the school and she wasn't there last year, and she got a little spooked, but she's coming back, and I don't want her to be all scared that she's in danger or anything. So as long as it isn't too intense and it doesn't spook her, then I'm fine with it.
I'm not sure how they'll change it yet, so I can't exactly speak to how I'll feel about it until I know for sure what the changes are going to be. But I feel like I'm similar with their feelings, that if they don't change it too much and if it's not like an impact on us, I'm fine with it.
And I'll just ask you guys one more question. How would you describe where the community is right now? Like overall, everybody.
I think we're in a relatively good place. I think there's obviously some things that we all have to get past still, but I think we're closer than ever. We genuinely love each other, and we want to be as close to one another as we can, and we just want everyone to heal.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty accurate. I think we're really close right now. We're just trying, we all became really close friends. Even beforehand, there are some people I didn't really know or meet or hang out with that I've spent all summer with, you know? It's just things like that. I think right now we're pretty close. Like, we're just trying to look out for each other and make sure we're okay. And I know the class of 2019, as they go off to college and ship off across the country, their heart is still here, you know? You know, if I need to get that plane ticket, I will. And that's kind of their attitude.
Anything you want to add?
Just, it's going to be an interesting year,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be fun.
Well, I wish you guys the best of luck, and thank you for talking with us. Is there anything else you guys want to add at all?